Johnny, and everybody. Okay, hey guys. Woman Cups Daytona Beach. How you guys doing? Good morning.
Morning.
All right. Welcome to another Woman Cups Daytona Beach. Hi, Facebook. Any first-time attendees here? If you are, please raise your hand. Welcome. Just a round of applause for you. We're so happy to have you. So you know, Woman Cups is an entrepreneurial forum where entrepreneurs get up, share their story, their challenges, their successes. We have an opportunity to kind of have a little back and forth. This happens in 189 cities every Wednesday morning. It's put on by the Kaufman Foundation out of Kansas City, Missouri. And we are very happy this morning to have our own Tina Caryle. Tina is, well, she's just awesome, but Tina is an entrepreneur in the senior living space. She is a published author. She serves on the board of several affiliated associations for this profession, and has got a great story, so I'm not going to tell too much about it, but without further ado, I'd like to welcome Tina Caryle.
I hope today that as I allow you to walk this journey with me, that we can all together reach our destiny. I put this up here. This is not the title of my presentation, but it's something for every entrepreneur or business person to think about. Are you toxic or impactful to your business? Okay, so keep that in your mind, and it's not a bad thing, but just think about it. Are you toxic or are you impactful to your business? As you stated, I am Tina Caryle. Of course, I'm a Christian, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. I'm an advanced practice nurse. I have a master's in nursing. I'm a published author. I was a hometown hero for Volusia County in 2017, administrator of the year for the state of Florida in 2018 for the Assisted Living Association. I'm also on the board for the Florida Assisted Living Association. I'm a graduate of University of Phoenix, I'm Cookman, and I'm also a major senior advocate. I love seniors. I see them and I just like want to just take them all home. So let's do some stats. Over 19.7 million people claim residency in the state of Florida as of now. 20% are seniors that are 62 and older, but as we know, 62 is a young age, so it's not kind of defensive. 6% above, we are in the state of Florida, we're 6% above the national average. That's high, but we also know that Florida is a retired state, right? By 2030, there will be an increase of 32% of people that are 60 and older in the state of Florida. Over 5 million seniors are 27% of 5 million, out of 5 million seniors are 70 and older living in assisted living. More than 9.3% of seniors are living alone that need to be in assisted living. I shared all this information with you so that way you can have a clear understanding of why I do what I do. Seniors that are at risk. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of my journey by letting you know. In 1990, I graduated from high school, and 1993, I graduated from nursing school. I worked at Halifax Hospital. I was on the trauma team. I loved just trauma. So I was part of the trauma team. I advanced out of that. I became one of the lead nurses. I left there. One of my cardiologists said, you should get into sales and marketing. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. So I left there, I got into sales and marketing. I stayed in sales and marketing. I became a regional director for one of the largest home care companies. Then I became the vice president for another home care company. So I definitely knew how to make money. I knew how to make money. No problem. I could sell a rocket range. As I journeyed through my career, I would go to various hospitals, nursing homes, ALFs, and so forth and so on. Being the senior advocate that I am, and I'll tell you how I also became a senior advocate. Being the senior advocate that I am, I often wonder why are so many seniors constantly going to the hospital? Why do we have so many falls? Why do we have so many incidents and accidents? Why is it that they can't remember to take their medications properly or right? Why is it that they're going to the hospital because they're in Lennox and toxicity? You know, what is really going on that these seniors don't have some assistance or they don't have a voice? A lot of times, why are they becoming isolated? You know, why are they home alone? I mean, think about your parents, those of us that are in our 40s and 50s, think about your parents that are home alone. Or think about the mother that actually took care of the father, because I did show you in a slide that women live longer than men. Why? Because we're the ones that really take care of the baby, right? And unfortunately, in this room, it shows more men than women, so almost like that's not true. But trust me, it is true. Also, poor nutrition, malnutrition, poor lighting, eyesight. These are things, as a vice president of a company, these are things that I would teach and share with my staff that they needed to hone in on, they needed to watch out for. Because I had nurses going into the homes, I had sales and marketing people going out to doctors' offices, to hospitals and so forth. And that was our goal, is to capture seniors to hopefully get them to a better place of where they need to be. This lady right here is my grandmother. If I get emotional, just start clapping. So anyway, my mother was killed. My mother was murdered when I was 7. We moved to the state of Florida with my grandmother. My grandmother raised my sister and I became her advocate. Why? Because she needed a voice, because she was very vulnerable to anybody. You can knock on her door and say you need $10, she'd give it to you. You can knock on her door and say you're going to give her the best insurance plan for $100 a month. You know, take that, she'll do it. That happens a lot now, and I'm talking about 40 years ago. That happens a lot right now. A lot of exploitation and so forth when it comes to seniors. So I decided that I was going to continue my nursing career, and I was going to be a fighter and an advocate for senior citizens that needed my help the most. In 2010, my grandmother fell. She lived with my husband and I. She took a fall in our house. When she took that fall actually caused a hemorrhagic bleed in her brain, and it landed her into the hospital where she never came out. So we continued to live in the house for a few more years, and I said, you know what, I can't do it. I can't do it without her, I just can't. My husband said, okay, we're not gonna sell the house, we're gonna convert it into an assisted living, okay? And that's just what we did. We took this home where I grew up in, and we converted it into Angel Senior Living Assisted Living. First home. It was very easy for me to do because I have the background and so forth, and I'm very involved in my community. So as far as Ormond Beach City Commissioners, the mayor and all of that, they were totally on board. The funny thing is the plans for the residential commercial buildings were not updated in Ormond since 1976. So I actually had to sit and help them change all of this. You know, so by the time we did all the changes and made everything happen, within 9 months we were open and full. This house houses 6 seniors, okay? So it's a 3-bedroom home, 2-car garage. Basically what we did was did shared rooms and so forth. So these are the seniors that live in that house. They have more fun than you and I. Trust me, they do. They're loving, they're kind, they're sweet. These are some of the services. So when we put this plan together, my husband and I, we said, okay, what can we do differently than what everybody else is doing? Because mind you, I am actually out there and I saw what everybody was doing. So the one thing I did say we were going to do is we were going to hire qualified staff. I knew they were going to be qualified because I was going to train them. So therefore, I didn't care where you got your certifications from. You were going to be retrained by me. And I definitely was qualified. So all of our staff is going to be qualified. What were we going to offer the seniors? We were going to offer them a home-like environment. How many of you sitting here in this room live in a Taj Mahal with your parents, so that way when they go to rehab centers and nursing homes, you're going to put them in the Taj Mahal? They don't live in the Taj Mahal. They live in a house. And that's what seniors want to live in. They want to live in a house. When you become demented, when you become frail, when you become anxious, when you become afraid, when you get to that point where you no longer trust, you need to be in an environment where all those things can be turned around into positive. You need to be in an environment where you can feel safe, you can feel trusted, you can feel that you can trust someone, you can feel like your 3 meals a day are going to be grand and great, things that you were used to having. So we created that environment here at Angel Senior Living, offering 24/7 care. That is the prime that people have to understand. We do provide 24/7 care around the clock. In my line of business, I find a lot of seniors that are living at home alone, and unfortunately, DCF, who's backed up, they can't get to them, you know, they said they were okay. There's nothing that they can really do because they're understaffed. So therefore, a senior that's been laying in their feces or hadn't eaten in 3 days, or maybe ordering their meals off of Amazon, and maybe a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because they can't afford anything else because they're on a fixed income. I'm giving you true stories. I'm not making this up. This is stuff that I deal with on a daily basis. And I'm sure if more medical people was in the room, they would be able to share it with you as well. This is the reason why we created a home away from home and basically treat your family like they're our family. At Angel Senior Living, we also provide a array of activities. We have a trained music therapist that come out to see the residents. Why? When people have dementia, when they have Alzheimer's, when they have schizophrenia or any type of mental health behavior, music therapy is phenomenal. And pet therapy, phenomenal. Okay? It's great for them. Marisa has her little dog like that. And it really is. It's wonderful. So I'm going to keep going on because I got a lot. So a few years passed by, and we kept getting calls. We kept the place filled, and everybody kept asking me, when are you going to open the second house? When are you going to open the second house? I'm like, we're not. So then I talked to my husband, and I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's open the second house. So we did. We opened Angels 2 out in Port Orange, off of Boggs Ford Road, down by BJ's. Opened this house, and we thought, okay, the other one we opened up, we filled it, it was great, and let's do this one. Well, guess what? This one didn't go so well. And I think this one didn't go so well is because I lost sight of what I was actually doing. I didn't lose my passion, not at all. I lost sight of what I should have been doing and what I was actually doing. I became toxic to my own business versus being an impact. Okay? So I want you to remember that. Because we did talk about that. I'm going to show you something real quick. Now, so I'm going to show you this little video that I created, my husband and I, because we thought we want to brand ourselves, we want to get ourselves out there, and we want to make sure that people know who we are, where we are, how can we really reach people outside of the state of Florida. Because really and truly assisted living, a lot of family members live outside of the state of Florida, but the parents, senior parents live here. So just check out our video.
There you go.
Hello, and thanks for choosing Angels Senior Living Assisted Living Facility, where we treat your loved one like family. Angels is operated by an advanced practice registered nurse, along with professional caring staff. Come on in and see us at Angels. Here at Angels Senior Living, we provide exceptional care to your loved one. On a daily basis, we provide hot served meals. We do laundry and housekeeping. We assist them with their bathing. We do activities such as music therapy, bingo, memory games to sharpen their thoughts. Please join us here at Angel Senior Living and note that your loved one will be provided with the best care possible.
It looks like Super Bowl around.
If you guys could just, I wanted you to kind of see some of the rooms and how it looks and so forth, just to kind of give you a virtual tour. I have a lot of family members that cannot come into town or don't want to come into town, but they need to place mom, dad, or whatever. So I send them this virtual tour of the facility so they can see how it looks.
Good job.
Thank you. Our goal was definitely to, again, like I stated, was to create a space and a place, home away from home. Was to create a place to call home. Our biggest issue that I feel like I need your help with is, I feel like I'm reaching people, but I'm not reaching everybody that we need to reach. So,
It's actually nice, I like it. Just let it play.
so again, some of the services that we some of the services that, we did the video, And then I started my next business. My next business was Access Senior Resource and Consulting. Why did I start that business? As a healthcare professional and as an advanced practice nurse, so many people, I was literally doing my second business for free. Consulting with people, teaching people how to keep their buildings open, teaching them how to write policies and procedures, the whole 9 yards. And I thought, I'm not gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna just create my own consulting business and get paid for doing it because I'm just doing too much work for free and this is crazy. So basically when I created Access Senior Resource and Consulting, we offered, and I do a lot of presentations all the time. I do motivational speaking, inspirational speaking, healthcare presentations. So I clump that in with it as well, along with helping people keep their businesses open and actually helping develop small businesses. So one thing I said was the Port Orange facility wasn't going as great as I wanted it to go. Access Senior Resources didn't get off the ground the way I wanted it to get off the ground, and it bothered me. It bothered me because I made millions of dollars for other people, easily. I enjoyed doing it. It wasn't for me, it was for my bosses. Of course, I was in a six-figure income, so it didn't bother me. My income was good too. I bonus and the whole 9 yards. It was a great life. But I had to ask myself, I want to definitely create a customer for life. So I'm gonna ask you and actually ask for some feedback. What do you think is your biggest customer? In your business, who's your biggest customer?
Actually,
Who is it?
I have a company that does training.
Okay.
And a company that sells hardware.
Okay, and who's your biggest customer?
Yeah, training.
Training?
Training company.
Okay. Who's your biggest customer, ma'am, in your business? Yes.
I'm currently seeking my newest job, so hey.
Okay. Does anybody just want to volunteer? Who's your biggest customer in your business?
Families everywhere and seniors.
Okay. Anybody else?
Startups.
Startups? Okay. Guess what? Not true. You are your biggest customer. Because if you don't have passion, if you don't believe in what you're doing, and if you don't put your greatest and your best foot forward, even when you're in a dip, there's nothing, I don't care how talented you are. If your heart is not in it, if you're not confident and you're not passionate, you're not going anywhere. I guarantee you that. It's not going to happen. So my husband and I had to rethink, and I'm thinking to myself, I am so stupid. I teach people this on a daily basis. How is it that I can't mimic what I do on a daily basis? What is my problem? Well, the problem was I lost sight of what I was doing. I lost sight of becoming a risk taker. I became afraid of being that risk taker. I became afraid of being confident in what I was doing. I lost sight because I was trying to open up this, do that. I have business, I have customers in Kissimmee, I have customers in Sanford. So I had to reel myself back in and say, what am I doing wrong here? What exactly am I doing wrong? And what I was doing wrong was I was branching out too far, too quick, too soon, too far. And I wasn't really focusing on my business. But the main thing we all have to remember in this room, if we're not going to be our number one biggest customer, then we're really setting ourselves up for failure. So, and another thing, I like what you said about family. You have to have a huge family support. We owned a trucking business, my husband and I, and that was his love. And we decided after looking at finances that it was better for us to move into the healthcare arena, which was my world, versus that world. With that support, we've been able to do much better than what we would have if he hadn't supported the business, right? So sometimes I ask myself, why am I doing what I'm doing? And when I get frustrated, I say this to myself, and this is truly something I've said ever since I was like maybe 17 or 18 years old. In order to make it to the mountaintop, you must be able to endure the climb, right? And you have to tell yourself that every day, because I was talking to a gentleman here about 2 weeks ago, and he said, you know what, I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting tired, I'm getting sick, I can't get the financing for my business. Guess what? It happens to the best of us. And if you're not willing to keep your best foot forward, then too bad. And I don't know how many of you in here are Christians, but one thing I do know, I'm a Christian, one thing I do know about God is he'll test us, and he'll test our faith. And for me, truly, faith is always being tested. So you gotta, again, believe in yourself. Another quote that I really like is, most people don't live their dreams, not because of a failure, but because they give up. every time you try something and it doesn't work, that doesn't mean you failed. That means you're one step forward to making it succeed. You're not a failure. The failure is when you give up. So what you have to do is you have to extract a lesson out of what you're doing. And that's what I had to do. I had to really keep talking to myself. And I had to honestly tell myself, this is something you created. For me, dealing with seniors is not about money. It's about passion. And trust me, with my passion and my drive and my desire to make sure that their well-being is great, millions are behind me. It's coming. It'll come naturally. Because this is not something fake. I'm very integrous in what I do. I'm very transparent in what we do, the whole 9 yards. I tell families what they don't want to hear, but it's my truth. The other thing is success, as I stated to you before, it's a multitude of failures, multitude. So again, my family is extremely important to me. Why? Because as a family, and if you don't have your family behind you to do what you're doing, or if you don't have someone that's going to be in your corner, you're not going to be able to succeed. You never will. Another one of my sayings that I like to say all the time is you never allow history to determine your destiny. So it doesn't matter how many businesses you've been in and how many times you failed, you just got to keep trying. And a lot of times we got to go with what our passion is. We have to go with what our passion is. You know, I don't know if I shared this with you guys, but I had a son. I got pregnant at 14 years old. Clues, didn't know what I was doing first time pregnant. Had him at 15, and I wanted to be a doctor. That was my plan. I was going to be a doctor. And it didn't happen. But again, I'm still successful. I'm happy for it. My son is successful. He's a personal trainer. I'm in Ormond Beach. He owns Beach Fitness. So he too is an entrepreneur at 33. So I share all this with you to say, number one, thank you so much for this presentation and this time. Thank you for allowing me to journey. Thank you guys for journeying with me, and hopefully we can all help each other through our destiny. I know it was a short presentation because I didn't want to get too emotional because it's a personal presentation. But for all of you that are sitting here in this room, whatever you do, don't let whatever you feel you failed stop you from succeeding. And think about why you started what you were doing. Why did you start it? Did you start it for the money? Most of the time, if we started any business for the money and there was no passion or no desire or no driving, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to work. I'm sorry. It's not. You've got to have passion. You've got to have commitment. You've got to have integrity with everything that you do. I don't care if it's delivering trash, picking up trash, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever you're doing, you've got to have passion and drive behind it. So again, thank you so much for listening to me.
Questions? Yeah, we're here. You did the first one. Round of applause. That was awesome. Tim, yeah, you got that one? Yep. You might need to flick it on. That one you have to talk real close to. Here you go, sir. Thank you, sir. And please identify yourself and your company.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm John Reardon. Tina, very, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Good lessons to learn to motivate us through life. One of my questions is, I know that you're very good and very big on networking and building a team of people and referral partners where you let everybody know about what your business is, but you also support other people's businesses as much as your own in many ways. So talk about the idea of building that network of people that you network with, that you can trust, and having that whole family that way.
Okay, so in 2005, 2006, I wanted to brand myself. And I wanted to brand myself because I knew one day I would be opening up an ALF or a home care company or one of the two. So in 2005, I started a network, a healthcare networking, and I actually call it the Elite Healthcare Networking Group. It's called SNAPS. SNAPS stands for Senior Network Advocate Providers. So I started that group in 2005 with John as part of it. Thank you so much for being, and several people in here are part of it. Started that group in 2005 with the idea of branding team. So that way the community, the public, the world can know who I am. Regardless of whatever I decide to do, they'll get to know me, they'll want to reach out to me. I started that, and I invite all the healthcare professionals, hospitals, nursing homes, ALF, elder law, reverse mortgage, home health care companies and so forth, and we have a different speaker. Pretty much set up very similar to this every month. And I did that because I needed to be able to network with people, and I can only be in one place at one time. So what greater thing to do except for to bring the people to me, right? So I started doing that, and it's been quite successful. It's been going since 2005, so thank you so much.
Tina, wonderful job. Really, really good job. Great presentation, great story. I'm Tom Jordan. My wife went through this recently with both of her parents, and that, you know, what I see, you asked the question earlier about improving and getting more people, let's say just the Port Orange location, just finding out about it. When most people have no clue how this industry works, what the resources are, because they're generally thrown into it very quickly. My wife was taking care of first her mother, then her father. She had her own job going on. She has all her other daily activities, and then all of a sudden now she's taking care of managing them and finding resources. And as much as you talk to other folks in the ALF and the senior advocate industry, it's the consumer that I think is that last little disconnect, because she had no clue what the resources were. How do you address that down at the, almost like, you know, that last consumer who's actually making the decision? How do you address that?
For me, what I try to do, and that, believe it or not, is an honest struggle. And it's an honest struggle because the hospital system now is a closed system. And the hospitals are really where you can reach out to the case managers, to the doctors and so forth, and say, here's what I'm doing, you know, here's how I can help your seniors, this is what we have to offer and so forth. But they have like a closed network because they want everything to come out of Halifax or Full Hospital, you know, they want to be the decision maker. So what we try to do, and what we're doing more of, is going out to like the senior communities, which again, I don't feel like that's really helping a whole lot. I just don't. The places that you gotta reach, because your wife, her parents probably were in a hospital, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened in that instance, when they were in the hospital, then they have what you call discharge planners and social workers. Those discharge planners and social workers has a list of names. Thank God I am on the list of names. But they're so busy, they're so inundated with what they're doing, I don't even think they give it a thought to say, this place is a 5-star rating. This place has an advanced practice nurse that runs it. Because honestly, in the Volusia County area, I'm the only advanced practice nurse that runs it. I don't care if it's a 6-bed, I don't care if it's a 150 bed. I'm the only one that's doing it. And you have larger facilities. You have facilities that are 120 bed, 130 bed, but there's quality in what I do. But it's me trying to figure out how do I get it out there because I'm just one person.
And usually it's just, they give you the list.
They give you the list and say, here, there's no, and that's the thing that irks me because I am a senior advocate. My thing is direct that senior in the right direction. I know at the hospital level you're not allowed to say, but you can at least kind of guide it, you know, something. You know, I mean, a true senior advocate is going to be a true senior advocate.
Hey, Al Smith Productions, great presentation.
Thank you.
Good thing is, entrepreneurs, a lot of times we get shiny objects get our attention on a regular basis, right? I know I've got like 4 things going right now. So two questions to that together. What do you focus on? It sounds like you've got 3 major things going on, one that's kind of settled, 2 that you're working on. How do you focus your time, and then do you consider how to leverage what you're doing to have the greatest impact?
Basically what I'm doing now is every day I create a calendar. Weekly I create a calendar of where I want to go, who I want to target, and what I want to talk about, and what I need to do. So again, with the it's really 2 businesses because it's the facility. It's actually 3 businesses. It's both facilities. Then it's my referral source business and the Access Senior Resource business. So for me, all of my businesses, the greatest thing is, with the exception of my speaking engagements, the greatest thing is that the hospitals, the nursing homes, the other churches, those are all my contacts. Those are all my targets. So every day I'm putting 5 or 6 different people in that target field. But I'm also listening to my customer. Because if my customer starts, if I'm there to talk to them about an assisted living, and they start talking about they're having this event and they're looking for speakers, then I tie that in with it as well. So I'm always listening to my customers because it's very important to know your customers' needs versus what your needs are. If you're not listening to them and you're gonna spill your story out, then you totally just went over their head. So for me, I walk in and I ask a question, how's your day? How's everything going? Is there anything that you need today that I can do for you? And then I, ask another question and kind of let them do the talking. And I listen, and then I chime in based on what they say. So believe it or not, I have a target of what I'm doing every day, and I do meet those goals most of the time. But I'm also able to, there's not probably 2 days that go by that I'm not able to plug in on my other business. And do I know if that's the right thing to do or not? No, I don't. I'm being honest, I don't know if that's the right thing.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Tina, nice presentation.
Thank you.
I'm Glenn Peacock with Captain Filtration. I do indoor air purification. And I work a lot with the senior citizens and facilities like that. And you mentioned that the hospitals have a list, a referral list to solve problems. Where would I find that?
The hospital what I was meaning in regards to, the hospital has a list of assisted living facilities, they have a list of nursing homes, they have a referral list. And matter of fact, what I will do, I don't know if you guys were able to get one, we do have, Desiree, she's not here today, but we do have what you call the Black Book, and inside that Black Book, it has a lot of healthcare, and I might have one in the truck, I will, but it has a lot of information in there that you can get when it comes to other nursing homes, other ALS, hospitals, and so forth, doctor's offices. It has a plethora of information in there. So if I have one, I'll be glad to give you.
That'd be great. We're just trying to provide a healthier environment.
I'll try to make sure I bring a lot next
I
time.
get that. That'd be
Yeah.
great. Thanks.
There you go. Thank you, sir. I got one here, one there, one there.
Hey, great stuff. I'm Ron with Sikarsky West Home Team Realty. My grandmother was in an assisted facility up in New York where I was this past weekend. So you mentioned what our best customers, will be truly ourselves. And I know that a target of this is, the family. When you're in the situation that you absolutely don't know what you don't know, you know what you need, and you go through these steps of fear, and then quickly goes to terror, like, what am I doing and where am I leaving you? And I just wondered, is there anything in place when you were, before they get a list of the hospital, a group like this, we're probably in denial that we all need to educate ourselves about this, because ultimately we're gonna end up in a situation with somebody making the decision for us, we might not have the capacity, so. Is there anything that you tried to get in front of people like us at this time to create a runway?
The best thing that I do right now is, because again, my business is a small business, I wish that I could afford to put billboards everywhere about angels and about access, but I can't. So basically what I'm doing now is, and that's why I kind of opened myself up even more with my presentations to do the healthcare talks about assisted living. And not necessarily to sell the assisted living, but to be a resource. So I'm all over the place doing presentations for free, for charge, There's really no one way to do it. I mean, I advertise in the Black Book, I advertise in healthcare books and so forth. But for me, everybody is my target. Families definitely are my targets, but it's how do you get to those families? I even thought about doing the mail outs, But again, that's money. So there's a lot of stuff that I can do, but it's going to cost me a lot of money, and I don't know if my return or my investment is going to even be worth it. So I haven't dug into doing that. I mean, I tell my customers to do it, and my clients to do it, but I'm not doing it because my business is very small.
Okay.
Tina, good morning. Thank you so much for your time. Latoya Carey from Kenneth Grant Inspirations. Hi, I just wanted to ask you about your pain points. Have you identified what your pain points are, and then what advertising methods have you put in place to target and hit those pain points?
So what we did was we created a video, and the greatest thing about this video, what was funny, is my truck does have Angel Senior Living on the back of it. I came home one day and my husband was like, "Did you see the truck outside?" And I'm like, "No." So I looked on the back and I was like, "Oh my God, what great advertisement!" Then I'm like, "Oh, everybody's gonna know where I'm at." But I was coming down Nova Road, and I got a call. And Port Orange was open for maybe a month, and it was a family member looking to move their loved one out of a facility, a big facility, into a small facility. So I ended up moving her Her son was a digital photographer, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. And he said, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I wanna create a virtual tour for you for half the price. I was like, okay, we'll do it. And it was, I mean, literally, we created this virtual tour within like 15 minutes. He was like, you are the most easiest person. I said, well, I talk all the time. See? So he actually created my virtual tour for like half the price, which was great because it was something we were gonna do anyway. So my virtual tour is there, but I'm still trying to figure out how do I get it out to the world because I don't know that. And then again, I'm very cost effective as to is it gonna be a great return on my investment. I did create brochures. I did not bring my brochures because brochures are money and I didn't want anybody to file 13 them, I'm being honest. But what I did was I created a business card that shows you, if you turn on the back of it, my business card shows you both houses on the back. So it gives you a visual of the house. It also, on the front of the card, takes you to my website, and if you go to our website, it gives you the virtual tour from the website. So again, I'm in that stage and phase of how do I really get it out there nationwide like I really need to? Because I have not actually captured that as of yet. But, you know, again, I tell my clients what to do because financially maybe they can afford it, which I'm not in that, you know, position. Because basically you can, you know, create the videos and you can pay for a space on Google. You can pay for a space that when you Google assisted living, my name can be the first one to go up, but that's going to be a cost.
Back here.
Hi, Adrian Trotter with Trotter Media. Sorry about the clear my throat, but I heard what you were talking about with getting reach, and just something that you can keep in mind is if you actually, when you talked about your customer, if you go work backwards and think of who you're trying to talk to with that video, you can actually specifically target through Facebook ads rather cheaply and build your, and get them like a call to action to do something, like, you know, either visit or give us some information, and then that will then build up and you can get return on your investment rather quickly.
You're gonna help me with that?
Huh?
You're gonna help me with that?
I could, yeah,
All right.
definitely.
I think I remember you. Your
But-
wife works at,
The print shop,
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember you.
Yes, and that was just something that I saw, because you already did a lot of the upfront work
Right.
getting the asset, and it looks beautiful. I mean, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And if you had that in front of the right people, then you could get outside of the area, and then eventually after that do testimonials of these people like that come through, and then you just basically build off of that.
And we have our Facebook pages where family members have gone on our Facebook pages and there are testimonials on both pages. There's stories on both pages and so forth. So I have some of that, but I need more reach, so I will connect with you. Thank you for that.
Good morning, Tina. Great job. Tina Davis, Perfect Work and Home Care Service. The question that I have is because I have been looking at your page and I see your virtual tour. Is there any way, because I'm doing the home care, is there any way when they are ready to move to that next level, I could forward that information so their families can do that as well?
Yes, on both of our websites, well, on our website and our Facebook page, we have a contact where you can reach out to me and put information on there, and it'll come straight through to me. So yeah, we do have that.
All right, back here.
My name is Dan Hargrove, and I unfortunately had a rude reality check with my own mother when I got a call from Hollywood Police Department telling me they had to break down her back door and she's in assisted living. To say it was chaotic is an understatement. You have a nice home where people are sharing a room. How much do you charge for each one in the Ormond one?
So the Ormond one is a shared room, and the shared rooms start at $2,800 depending on your skilled care that you need. The Port Orange is all private rooms with the exception of one, and the Port Orange rooms start at $4,000. And everything is included except for like the briefs or pull-ups that you have to buy in some of the hygiene products. But we include everything, meals, 24/7 care.
Wonderful. All right, round of applause for Tina. I think great job.